next speaker is, he told me yesterday that he used to be a yoga teacher here in Frankfurt, which is a headline in and of itself. But now he's doing something almost equally relaxing. He's running a quantitative analysis blockchain company. Please welcome with me on this stage, Maksim Balashevich. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right. And he's going to talk about understanding crypto market behavior. The stage is yours. Hi.
Thanks for introduction. Didn't expect that. To stay relaxed, I need to push it higher. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we will talk about crypto market behavior, which goes down to one and only one topic: cycles. Do you understand the cycles? But before we do this, I actually wanted to say a great thank you for organizers of the event. That's a very great effort of establishing or pushing the mission many of us are representing by doing the projects. And it's by no means easy, and like we see in Europe, latest decisions, they make it for themselves, like shooting their own feet, even more complicated. But by doing this effort and exchanging the knowledge and showing the use cases and how the space keep growing, I hope we will, in Europe, have a very bright and everything accepting place. Yeah, we talk a lot about acceptance and inclusion, but somehow with crypto and DeFi, there is not much inclusion yet. More like fighting against it. And crypto markets, yeah, and behavior and cycles. Yeah, this is a key topic, and how can we address it? Or what can we learn from it? Few key points. Sentiment, we've been like since 5 years doing what I will show in a few slides later. We went through already two big cycles, 16, 17, and then 18, 19, and then 20, 21. Now in 22, it's already quite a lot to gather experience and share it. We cover everything related to crypto quantitative analysis, and that includes on-chain social dev activity. And it's really, really a lot of data, and it's getting like exponentially more and more. We do provide 9 blockchain data from 9 different blockchains around. As I asked last time, our developers, 500 million messages from only crypto-related social channels. And on top of it, we built 700 metrics. But I will not be showing 700 metrics. I will focus on the most important ones. And yeah, and we manage our own treasury. Yeah. You do what you speak, so to say. Actually, interesting point about social data, before I go further. So there is a very specific part in it, and when people use it, like Google Trends. Yeah, I'm saying because maybe it's not so obvious. Whenever you do Google Trends, it does show you the interest for Bitcoin, DeFi, NFTs, Metaverse is growing. But one point is missing. Google has no access to Telegram chats, to forums or internal channels crypto people are using, so you're always late. When you use Google Trends, you're undeniably always late. And actually, when your attention is drawn to Google Trends, most of the time it is already danger zone, it will go down. So it's important to distinguish. There is areas where crypto people are talking to each other, and Google, they don't see it. One observation, it's already related to cycles from 2017. For those who haven't made this cycle, I know many projects, many VCs and found 70% died. They disappeared. They lost their money. They lost their interest. They burned out. It happens in 18 and 19. Now, I guess some of you, I don't know how many of you are running or providing services for those who are running investment vehicles, VC funds, hedge funds. How many stories have you read about destroyed financial institutions in crypto, except the DeFi hacks? I think none. So does it mean this time is different? And the answer, this green guy, he knows all the answers, he tells it. If you think this time is different, it's a wrong approach in finances, and especially in crypto. This time will not be different. We will see the same number, 70% burned out. Just to sum up, whatever comes up will go down. In crypto cycles are much faster, very unusual, very painful, and unnatural for human brain. Devastating sometimes, fast, in both ways, up and down. And complexity is increasing with each cycle. And you will see just a few examples. So the first, finally, we see some charts. On this chart, you always, whenever we represent or visualize market behavior, because we are a market behavior analytics platform, there will be one line representing the price of an asset or the whole market, and then some metrics on top of it, so-called time series. Everything is connected to price. Yeah, there is price is changing, but there is something underlying data keeps changing, spiking, or condensing. And in this case, green is, most of the time we use green for price. Green is a price of Bitcoin, and then to show complexity, this is a social amount of social talks, communication related to 3 topics: DeFi, NFT, and Metaverse. Only 3 topics, and it's already complex. And you can hardly see much unless you start to splitting it into different segments. So the first one, DeFi, this is how much have been talked about DeFi in crypto community itself. The first big yellow spike is social dominance, % of whole talks in crypto space dedicated to this topic. So you see this is DeFi summer, right in the middle, or like, yeah, pretty much in the middle. The interesting points here, already we can see 2. It's like spiked a lot, went down, and price pull up thereafter. In Ethereum, it was the same. So it's one learning, the moment crypto community get excited about something, or initially pool of excitement, price most of the time will follow up in a very short time. But if you're early enough, if you're in crypto, you know, if you're early enough into any topic, you basically can invest almost anything. Most of the coins will pop up. And the second part of the cycle, it goes very fast, very intensive, and because of high expectations or also some kind of manipulations of holders, it will overshoot. It will go too much far away. So buying on the top when everyone is talking about it's a dangerous idea. Luckily now there is data which can show you what is the amount of interest, what is social dominance, how far are we in a cycle, how many people talking about. We can visualize a lot of things which can make your life a little bit more safe. And second learning from here, by the way, DeFi is by no means dead. We are back to the level we've been in DeFi summer, but even higher, because there is DeFi 2.0, and we have protocol on liquidities and curve wars almost finished or not finished, you never know, many stable coins. A lot of interesting things happening, but no one, or not many except crypto native people talking about, because now we have NFTs. And NFTs, interesting enough, as you see, this is the data cannot really lie. The huge spike of interest and talks, even among the crypto community, happened after, in this case, we make to the top. Even though there was an increasing trend, you can see yellow line was pushing up together with prices, but whole world got interested in NFT after we made the top, and then went down. And actually, we keep going down since then. now recovering. And the metaverse is another topic. From this chart, I would say it's still early. It's a kind of pushing up and then decreasing and going up and then decreasing, even though some tokens are reflecting very nicely, but it's still, and also by the duration itself, if you compare it to the previous charts, it's quite early. It's only less than 1 year. Even in crypto, people are talking about. In 1 year, less than a year, it's too early. So that was only social-related data. On this data alone, you can get an impression or like feeling, or I hope interest of using the data for understanding market behavior and cycles. Now we go deeper into the rabbit hole. Deeper will be here, but a short summary. In each cycle, which now will be visualized on 3 examples, there are always specific group of people participating and specific patterns repeating. And this group, or specific parts of the cycles, always can be identified. In the very beginning, there are early adopters, developers most of the time, but also geeks and community around them. Lately, it's often VCs, and of course, team members who are building. This is an early adopters. The very next, the moment something starts working, and there is an interest growing, you will see community members joining and growing around it. Yeah, and they will keep buying and promoting and sharing around smart money. So it's not necessarily participating in the life of community, but they have money enough and they know how it works. They pull in a substantial amount of financial interest. The next, it's a recognition point, those spikes on the social charts you saw. It's a crowd interest. It will start spiking and price starts moving exponentially at times. And on this stage, from the 2 early groups, quite some people financially exit. At least 30–50% of the holdings they will exit. And the very last one, we don't want to be this group. Sometimes we are. It's the latecomers, former victims. Luckily, there are enough data now to show you this stage of FOMO. And I really encourage you to address it in your investment behavior. This is a very painful part. I experienced it once when I entered 16. And yeah, you lose 50% very fast. But you learn. So it's kind of, you pay and you learn. Bitcoin, redistribution cycle as a 4 group. I took the one from 17, and I left it open what's happening now. If we have time, we can address it. So again, this green now line with a kind of shape below, it's logarithmic price of Bitcoin. Otherwise, it's difficult to see. And just a line, a little bit, I don't have a laser, but you see it below, there is a price. But we need to take logarithmic in crypto. Otherwise, you cannot see it over years. And then there is a red, pink. This is a metric which is min dollar invested age. Santiment, I think, is the only provider who was able to build it. It's complicated, and you need to know what you're really building. Maybe now someone will rebuild it after I share how powerful it is. But there is no crystal ball anyway. But it's very helpful in learning redistribution cycles. This metric shows the average duration of every dollar spent to obtain every token on a network. Sounds complex, but you can say when the metric is growing, holders are accumulating. So the age of all dollars used to obtain is growing. And the moment you see a redistribution part 1, it stops or eventually goes down. Redistribution process takes place. Those from group number 1 and 2 given to group number 3 in a phase which is called here part 1. And you can see it on the chart. And you can see it if you have an access in a lifetime. It's a midterm metric. You don't do day trading, but you rebalance your portfolio based on it. So the moment you see start redistributing, it's a good moment. It's not easy to convince yourself, but generally not an investment advice, but you can increase your holding. And you don't leave. I did this mistake also one time. I left it at the end of part 1. So I know what I'm talking about. I know how it feels, and it's not so simple, but I need to convince yourself. And now there is a redistribution part 2, where this age of dollars used to obtain tokens like grows rapidly. It's a very, you can say, short money enter into the market. They're just buying, and sometimes they're exiting, and the average duration becomes very low. For Bitcoin, it's the shortest value was around 40 days. And it's one of the observations. It grows on every cycle. It increases a little bit because some coins are lost. Some investors are learning. They don't want to be too late next time. So it keeps increasing for every network. And oh, okay, 3 minutes, good. And as we said in the beginning, the cycles are fast, and opportunities are not so much to rebalance or sell a portfolio. You will get into the next accumulation phase very fast. Before you even realize it, you will think, okay, I will hold. I need to hold it. Now it's too late to sell. And this phase is not only Bitcoin, it was very similar on Ethereum with some small twists. If you pay attention, the chart looks a little bit different. I mean, there's accumulation and redistribution. And the very fresh example of Cardano, it's a perfect example because it was for them like a first strong cycle. For some reasons, Cardano is, I think, very well known and beloved in Germany, so I use it. Now, it's only one out of 700 metrics. Of course, I don't use 700 in my daily life, but I use like dozen of them. And all of them are dedicated, either depends if I look at on daily basis or weekly, understanding the cycle, understanding the behavior of specific token holders on this project. Is there a lot of exchange activity because we labeled also a lot of data, or is there accumulation small token holders or bigger ones? You can get now a lot of data. We're not the only ones, even though I think we're one of the best on the market. And education is a key, and learning how the project and market behaves in cycles is the fastest way to get to end result. We did not cover yet how, because of limit of time, 20 minutes not possible, how specifically the tops are formed and shaped. For that, I talked with the organizer, okay, we will do a separate event tomorrow evening, where I will talk and show maybe 10, 12 examples of specific top formations based on on-chain and social data. And if you're from Frankfurt, you know Tech Quartier. If you know, it's not far from Bahnhof, from railway station. And we'll have relaxed party talking crypto. And with this, I would finish.